Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I want to do a ship buyer's guide on the Mirai Fury. This little tiny snub fighter with a load of firepower and a load of maneuverability is the definitive pocket fighter. And what I mean by that is that it's going to make a lot of ships into pocket carriers, something that seems to be highly popular in the Star Citizen universe. And it's at a great price point. It's a very cheap lifetime insurance token-esque ship, so you can basically buy one of these and then upgrade it later to another ship, and then you get the lifetime insurance sort of carried over. Anyway, let's talk about the ship and give you some of my thoughts on it as we'll look at some footage and just fly it around manically around the landing zone, all that sort of jazz. So Mirai is the very essence of performance. They take the impossibly high standards in Starflight set by MISC, and with this offshoot company, Mirai, they push it forward beyond its absolute limits. The Fury defines Mirai's mission, a truly next-generation snub chassis, meticulously tuned for exceptional performance. They threw out the book and fundamentally changed how they make snubcraft. So this is a newly flyable ship in Alpha 3.19 and Fleet Week. It comes in two flavors, the Fury Fighter and the Fury MX Snub Bomber, although it's not a true bomber, and we'll come to that later. The ship is available from $50 War Bond or $55 store credit. You can also buy it in packs of 2 or 4 or why not even 16. Why would you do that? Well, the unique selling point of the Fury is that it is tiny and can fit in a lot of ships as well as a lot in one ship. So you can just jam a ton of these into a caterpillar, transforming it into a pocket carrier for these pocket-sized snubs. So Cloud Imperium said, the smallest ship we intend the Fury to be able to fit inside at the moment is the Drake Cutlass Black, though the consolidated Outland Nomad can also fit one in its rear cargo bay. And I've personally seen people try to jam 9 of them in a caterpillar. You can probably get more actually in a caterpillar thinking about it, but I've seen 3 of them actually get jammed in the back of a Cutlass Black. So that says you can sort of fit 1 in there. You can technically fit 3, though it's going to take quite a long time to deploy them because you have to sort of very slowly reverse them or wiggle them out. So size-wise, the ship is, while in flight, 7 meters long, 5.4 meters wide, and 2.6 high. While landed, it is very small. It's got a significantly smaller footprint. So that's 6.13 meters long, 3.8 meters wide, and 3.27 meters high. So tiny little footprint is going to fit in a lot of ships. Its vital statistics, well, its current SCM sort of top speed is 220 meters a second. It's got 4 size 2 badges as default, but size 2 hardpoints there. You've got 4 size 2 missiles. Components wise, because it's so small, it's got a mixture of size 1 and size 0 components, so size 0 are effectively vehicle size components. The fuel tank and intake, that's size 0, as is the life support system. Assumedly, size 0 life support means just one person, enough for life support, or just supplies life support to the cockpit, or both. You got also size 1 power, shield, and then you also have 2 size 1 coolers. There is no cargo space, technically, although there is a little bit of external storage, an external storage pod. It's only really enough for a few weapons, maybe some lighter armor, but you can have a couple of little bits in there. There is no quantum drive for the craft, though. It is very, very small, and the reason that it is very, very small is because they've packed it really, really densely, but no room for that quantum drive because it would be a whole new beast if they sort of did. So that means that you need to ferry this by a carrier ship of some kind to get it around. It can also be used very short range from a station or outpost, but this would not be suitable as your only ship, for example, unless you plan to hop around on other people's ships. Let's read some of the blurb for the fighter here for this snub craft. Next gen skirmisher, 4 size 2 laser repeaters optimized for absolute precision and control, make the Fury a revelation in short range space combat. And that's what it specializes in. It's got a load of forward firing weaponry, pew 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 pew, and yeah, quite short range, very, very pewy. It's capable of relentlessly harassing the largest and most heavily armed vessels while remaining elusive to targeting systems. Because it is Xi'an tech in here, and because of the way its thrusters work, it's got like 4 big thruster arrays that can spin around to give you the power when you need it very efficiently, which means you can do very sharp turns, you can sort of do strafe combat very well. If you're about to hit the floor, you can normally pull up pretty well, and because of how tiny it is quite hard to hit. A truly revolutionary approach to snubcraft design maximizes portability, allowing for effortless transport and the ability to launch quickly into overwhelming swarm formations. A deep integration of Xi'an tech and design principles gives the Fury class-defying maneuverability and sense-shattering velocity, rendering it elusive in conflicts. The Fury's slight frame benefits from full shield coverage, a rare commodity for a snub fighter. Is it rare? I haven't really flown the snubs in combat properly. I thought they were all relatively well covered by their shields. Xi'an influence and tech allows for unmatched maneuverability and reactive combat. Groundbreaking design puts the pilot right in the action with ultimate visibility and total control. One of the things that the ship does have for the pilot is great visibility from that sort of glass-rounded cockpit, and you can see you can track targets really easily. 4 size 2 halo-mounted cannons pack a serious wallop. That forward-facing firepower is pretty impressive. Intimidating size 2 missiles round out the Fury's potent weapons package. 4 main thrusters and no less than 12 maneuvering thrusters give the Fury class-defying dexterity. So yeah, a really, really interesting, powerful snub. If you want a combat snub, this is the snub to go for. It hands down, in my opinion, annihilates the P-52 and the P-72. This has just got a load of firepower. It is a ship of war and combat. I suspect there will be ways of hand refueling ships like this in the not too distant future. So we also have the Fury MX. That's the same price point and base ship, but has 2 major changes, or at least 2 changes. It forgoes the standard armament, so none of those 4 size 2 pew-pews. Instead, it goes, get rid of those standard guns, let's go all missiles. It has 20 missiles. That's a lot of missiles. So 12 size 2s and 8 size 1s. It is deemed a snub bomber, but realistically, it is a launch platform for short-range missile combat. It isn't equipped with gravity bombs or torps or anything like that. They are missiles. It's a very interesting sort of ship. They're very similar to the sort of Talon and Shrike, at least the sort of roles, just in a more snub-like package. Put it all on the line and devastate targets with 20 Halo-mounted missiles, then fade away to regroup and rearm. The Fury MX is a ruthlessly efficient snub bomber, packing an intimidating payload that's then capable of delivering it with deadly precision. The other change is its deployable blast shield, giving it extra armor, but reduced visibility when it's deployed. So the armored cockpit, specially reinforced cockpit designed to let you strike head on. Now, one of the really good things about the ship is that it sort of works, right? You've got 20 missiles, you can fly around. If you've got a load of these, then you can pretty quickly wear down a target, because eventually they'll run out of countermeasures. And if you've got loads of these mixed with Furies and Fury MXs going after someone, well, it's sort of like a pack of wolves just running after it, and eventually your prey will get tired. And just like wolves do in the wild, they launch a series of size 2 missiles at their target, blowing it to pieces before feasting on the remains. But you can then rearm it, because in 3.19, you've got the ability to use the hand tractor beam to pick up other missiles, whether they be directly from the ports of ships, or because you've got a big pile of them in the back of your ship already, and then bop, 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 put them back on your Fury MX. I mean, to be honest, just the standard Fury, that's got 4 size 2 missiles on it as well, so that's pretty good anyway. And then obviously you've got those guns, so I think I prefer the standard Fury more, just because I like the idea of having weaponry, pew-pew-pew, that I can use without having to go and restock. It's obviously a lot cheaper effectively than to run. But I suppose if you do run the Fury MX, you've got a lot more power to play with, because you don't need to power your weapons in the same way. You're not going to be firing your lasers or anything, because you've only got missiles, so you can put power to different systems. It's an interesting one. I'm really interested to know what your preferred version of the Fury is, the Fury or the Fury MX, and sort of why. So these ships are awesome. They're tiny combat snubs that can transform cargo ships into carriers. The Hercules can take a ton of these and launch like 4 of them at a time, 2 from the front, 2 from the back, just constantly. You can comfortably get 8 in there, probably a load more, depends how you want to pack them. Yeah, it's absolutely madness. This transforms so many ships into pocket carriers. I really love the idea of turning the manpower on a more cargo-esque ship into sort of combat power when you need to, right? Because you go, send out a load of people in these Fury and Fury MXs that we've got on board. And they'll make sort of fantastic Q ships, because you go, or a pirate will come along and go, haha, I'm going to steal your cargo. And you'll go, launch fighters. I think all I want with a Q ship, sort of like a ship that would fight pirates, that sort of tricks pirates into getting close or whatever, is a ability to put a quantum dampener in a cargo ship as like a module, and then have things like modules that allow you to have effectively firepower PPUs, or just a load of the Furies you have to launch out once you've dampened the target. We also did have a bit of a Fury FAQ as well from Cloud Imperium, and I'll go through some of these questions. Can the weapons on the Fury be replaced with missile racks, or vice versa with the MX? No, the Fury's weapon mounts are not interchangeable with missile racks, the same as any other ship. Given their size, the MX's missile racks are bespoke, so only the missiles themselves are able to be swapped for different types. How does the Fury perform relative to the Merlin and Archimedes, so the P-52 and P-72 respectively, in speed, agility, firepower, and durability? Pretty well. Speed and agility wise, it is very competitive, though this is at the expense of durability. So that is something we didn't really talk about. Yes, this ship is not particularly durable. It does have that size 1 shield, so it can take a couple of shots, but once its shield is low or gone, you are very, very, very vulnerable to the elements. How does the Fury compare to light fighters like the Anvil Arrow? Quite favourably. While it's a snub due to the lack of quantum drive, it was designed by Mirai to go toe-to-toe with other light fighters and has a weapon loadout to compete against them. Like other light fighters, its weakness is its durability. Given its size, a few well-placed shots can be catastrophic. Does the Fury have an injection mechanism for the pilot? No, it does not. So that's pretty worrying. You still have to step out of your cockpit if you're worried that you're going to die there. How does the Fury's power signature compare to other snub ships? It is comparable, as they all share a similar set of power, shielding and cooling components, with only really the weapons differentiating their power requirements. Does the Fury leverage any alien technology in its design? Mirai is a sub-brand of MISC, so benefits from the parent company's relationship with the Xi'an race. As such, the Fury utilizes alien thruster technology, which can be seen at the rear of the ship. How well does the Fury fly in atmosphere compared to space? Above average compared to other ships, given its low mass and thrusters that can hit many angles of thrust. It's one of the easier ships to fly in atmosphere. How safe is the glass cabin for combat? As safe as it can be, given its visibility requirements, the MX has a deployable blast shield that can provide some extra damage resistance. So that was the FAQ there, from bits and bobs that we haven't already gone through. Oh, something that I do want to mention is that there is a special offer for Invictus Launch Week for Fleet Week. Anyone that purchases a Fury or Fury MX Warbond, so that will come with a free in-game Invictus flight jacket. Just a little silly thing to get extra there. There are a load of skins available as well, some specific for the Furies, just for look at these cool Fury colours and things that we've got that you can potentially buy, and there's also ones that are more specifically for Fleet Week. This is also the first time I've seen multiples of a ship sold in sort of packs of 16, which is just a really interesting thing. Sort of, I know that's going to appeal to some people. Some people are going to be like, well, I've got a Caterpillar. I can justify purchasing 16 of these. Or even like a Hercules C2. I'm just really interested if people are going to start using sort of launch fighter strategies, but that means that you need manpower to do that. So you need to log on with a load of people and fly around knowing that that's what you want to do. And that's probably fine within an org or a large group. But when you're talking about just a couple of people, well, you can't launch all the fighters. You've only got one other person with you to launch one. And then rather than bringing 8 Furies in a C2, well, why not bring a load of people in Gladius or Avenger Titans or something? I personally love the ship. I love the way it looks. I think it fills a hole in Star Citizen, but I'm interested to know what you think. Are you going to be purchasing one or many? Have you got pocket carrier in mind for this? Are you waiting for Cloud Imperium to release something that makes better use of the Furies? Are you going to be using these ships just for a lifetime insurance token? So that's basically when you buy it, war bond to get lifetime insurance with a new ship, and then upgrade it to another ship later. Also, the first day of Fleet Week looks like it made like around $2 million, and they've only really released the Fury and Fury MX, so most of the sales there are going to be those, although there are Crusader ships and Misk ships also available to purchase at the moment. We do have incoming very soon the Aegis sale, so there's going to be Javelins and Idris on sale, but typically sell out almost instantly, and they are in limited quantities. But I'm just really interested to know where you sort of fit on the scale here. Do you want an Idris so you can fill it full of Furies? Are you going to be purchasing one? Are you avoiding them? Do you think these sort of ships are silly? Is it something that you'll get loads of in-game and once they're available, which I suspect them to be available either in 3.20 or the patch afterwards? Typically, there's at least a 3-month exclusivity period for new ships, the newly flyable ships, before they are available to purchase in-game, so bear that in mind. What are your thoughts, though? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but give him a NordVPN subscription using nordvpn.com/BoredGamer or the links below, and he'll browse the internet more safely and with greater accessibility for a lifetime, or at least until his subscription ends. He can then shop for his own fish from places like Tesco's, Walmart, or Asda or something. It also makes a fantastic gift. Next time you go to a dinner party or a wedding, bring them a NordVPN subscription. Bam! You'll be the talk of the town, and it's certainly better than bringing a fish. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to go further to support the channel, then use that join button under my videos or the Patreon links below. That would be amazing. It goes a long way to helping Zin and I be able to create daily videos, and you'll get some exclusive perks, including some videos, posts, and polls to help guide the channel. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for an Origin 400i, the luxury exploration touring ship capable of taking 3 crew to distant stars. It also comes with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you in the verse.